Hi. I wanted to talk about support systems and when people close to you, your family, your friends, your coworkers, um, your classmates, when they don't seem to understand keto and they are having a hard time being supportive. Um, Sometimes it's difficult explaining this way of eating to people. Either they'll listen or they won't. I know I've read things people print out um, the science behind it, or they have like links saved. Look at these bruises. Saved in like some sort of Word document to send to people to get them to understand more about this way of eating. People will listen or they won't. People will listen or they won't. And sometimes the people that you think will understand the most will understand the least or be um, almost like they'll have a wall up. Like if you, like me for instance, I'll do it for instance. My best friend and I are both we're both overweight. We've both been overweight for pretty much our whole lives. She's expressed to me in the past how she wants to lose weight, for personal reasons or whatever. Everybody has their reasons. But when it comes to explaining to her what I'm doing keto, it's just like a wall. She's like, that's no. All you have to do is eat in moderation. You can eat whatever you want, but you have to eat in moderation. Um, and that's what a lot of people truly believe. A lot of overweight people that I know believe that it's all about moderation. And unfortunately, that's not true. And unfortunately, a lot of these people are still overweight. Um, I'm still overweight. Great point. Um, but their health is much worse than mine is. Not to brag, my blood pressure's okay. You know, it's because of my weight that it sometimes is borderline high. But I know that once I get my weight down, I will probably still be pre because it runs in my family. High blood pressure. My father had high blood pressure. My mother had high blood pressure. My brother has high blood pressure. He's on medications. Um, but that's pretty much it. Um, Knock on wood. You can present them with the science. Some people either don't want to hear it or they're not smart enough to understand it. When you start using scientific terms, people's eyes roll back in their head and they put up a wall. They stop listening. It doesn't matter what it is. You can be explaining anything. If you use scientific terms, people's eyes are going to roll back in their head and they're going to stop listening. For instance, my father, even my mom, when my mother was still alive, I was eating keto, and she was just like, I don't, it's not healthy. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. I'm like, yeah, but I'm losing weight, right? Yeah, but still, I can't make food because you have to make food separately, or I have to put things separate. I can't, like, that was her thing because she would cook for the most part, for the family, and it's really inconveniencing that I can't, put the meatballs in with the spaghetti because you can't eat the spaghetti. Oh, it has starch on the meatballs now. Oh, forget, I can't eat it. And I would get frustrated. And it's easy to understand why a lot of ketoers get frustrated when other people make meals. Sometimes my father will make something and he'll be so proud of himself and he's so cute. And he'll be like, look what I made. And I'll taste a little and I'll say, oh, that's great. But the sauce has a lot of sugar in it. I won't say this to him. I'll just say, I can't eat that. And he say, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me? Because it's hard to continually tell someone I can't eat sugar and carbs. I can't eat too much sugar. I can't eat too many carbs. It's hard. It's hard. If you don't get it the first time, you're just never going to get it. And I know a lot of you live with people like this. your significant other might be like, you're stupid. Here's a donut. I'm gonna eat it in your face. Oh, I love you. Like, get the fuck out of here. But it's really difficult. I live in a house with the father who a Wonder Bread is always on the counter. He eats his Honey Nut Cheerios. I have a stack of cookies on my counter, and that's great. I mean, my father needs to keep his weight up. He's going through chemo. He has cancer. I don't care. This stuff isn't triggering to me. What triggers me in the real world is like the exotic things I come across. Like it's apple pumpkin spice season, and one of my weaknesses is the Starbucks pumpkin scones. It's really difficult to explain this way of eating to people, and it's even more difficult to explain it to people in the food service industry. I've been keto for like 3 years, and I can count on one hand how many times I've explained myself to a waitress, or I've explained myself to a cashier at a food place, and they are just like, oh, okay, that's fine. Like, they don't give me a funny look. I can count on one hand, and it's like 3. I went to IHOP, and we all know that, and if you don't know, listen up. If you order an omelet, or if you ordered scrambled eggs at IHOP, they put pancake batter in the mix when they mix up the eggs. So the only safe eggs at IHOP, unless you ask them not to put the batter in, I heard that they do that. I have yet to. I don't like to be that person, and I feel like I should, and I feel like there's nothing wrong with it. What if I actually did have an allergy to foods or whatever? I would have to ask people to doctor or change or remove certain things. But fried eggs at IHOP is pretty much the only thing you can do, unless you ask them not to put the pancake batter in. So I asked her, I said, I want some fried eggs. Oh, what side would you like? I was like, I can't have the hash browns, and I don't want the toast. Because that just comes with everything. If anybody from IHOP corporate is listening, I mean, IHOP is dirt cheap, and I would love to eat there more often, but every single thing comes with carbs. Every single, like, breakfast platter comes with toast. It comes with it. Or it comes with hash browns. It comes with it. And when I tell them I don't want the toast, I'm still being charged for the toast, but I'm just not going to eat it. What if I come to IHOP with someone who's also keto? Last time I went, I gave my my dinner guest the toast. She didn't eat all of it. It's a waste. I hate that you're allowing your chains to waste food and put food in the garbage. That's profit down the drain. That's profit in the trash can. I told the girl, I was like, I don't eat carbs or sugar. Can I get a side of bacon and an extra side of bacon? And they had like avocados at the point. It was like what a big deal, avocados. So I said, can I have some avocado? And she's like, oh, are you eating low carb? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, yeah, my cousin's doing that. And she lost a lot of weight. And I was like, oh, I hope so. I hope I lose weight too. And it was nice. But that never happens. Like, that really never happens. But it's really difficult. There are a lot of people that are against it, and they just don't want to hear it. They just do not want to hear it. Like my boss, the pharmacist, he makes fun of me all the time because of what weird shit are you eating today. But I had a blood test done, I want to say a couple months ago. Not too long ago. Not more than 6 months ago. And I like to bring in test results to him because he went to medical school. He's a pharmacist. He's not a doctor. He's not a practicing physician, but he knows how to read blood work. They're not idiots. They're pharmacists, and you should all respect them a lot more. But I brought in my blood work, and he was like, wow. What? He's like, your cholesterol's perfect. Look at this. all of your levels are good. He's like, the only thing that's wrong with you is you're fat as fuck. I'm like, great, thank you. But yeah, my blood pressure is good. I'm not pre-diabetic. All of my vitamins are good. In fact, this is also another PSA about vitamins and supplementation. You should always get your vitamins, your vitamin levels tested. Okay, because sometimes you'll take a multivitamin and you don't need some of the vitamins. And certain vitamins can be very detrimental. The last blood test I got that I showed to him, I brought in because my potassium was high. And it was because I watched a YouTube video about how important potassium was. And yes, all the electrolytes are important. I tend to drink Powerades now, Powerade Zeros. But I just watched a video about potassium and I started taking potassium supplements. My potassium was super high. I think it was like 9.1 and the highest range limit was like 7 point something. And the doctor was like, your potassium's high. And I was like, okay. Now, this was a doctor that put me on vitamin D supplements because my vitamin D was low. I feel like a lot of people's vitamin D is low. But I don't really, I should probably take it. I take 50,000 IUs a week. International units, that's how they measure the vitamin D capsules. But she's like, your potassium is high. And I was like, okay. And she's like, well, this isn't good because your high potassium can cause your heart to stop. And I was worried. So I got a second opinion from my boss. And he's like, yeah, your potassium's high. Are you taking supplements? And I was like, yeah. I was like, stop taking supplements. So she brought me back, I think, in a week and fasting. My potassium was back to normal. But it was because I took supplements and a multivitamin. You don't always need to. You can really harm yourself. Like my father loves taking multivitamins. He can't take any now. He can't take any vitamins, and he's really sad. But people think that just taking fistfuls of vitamins is helpful. And I had to tell my father, I had to explain to him, you don't always need certain vitamins. A surplus of vitamins can be really harmful. Oh, okay. People don't know that. People go to the vitamin aisle, and I see it. I'm right next to the vitamin aisle at my job, and they just pick things off. You have to consult your doctor. You have to consult a pharmacist. I mean, you can always come and stop by and talk to us. We have no problem doing that. We don't want you to hurt yourself just because, like me, I watched a YouTube video and it said potassium's great. Oh, well, no, you have to be careful. And I guess that's pretty much it. Just be careful about vitamins. And if you're struggling with a support system, and you're struggling with trying to tell people, what you're doing and how you're eating, and you're not finding the support that you need, I don't know what to tell you. I've been dealing with this for 3 years. My father still doesn't understand what the hell I'm doing. You eat so weird. How about a cookie won't kill you? That's why I ate those donuts 2 weeks ago. Because he brought me donuts, and I was like, oh, I love you. Just eat a donut. Oh, okay. And I did it. But I don't know what to tell you. You have to be strong with yourself. I said it in a video before. I don't know if I posted it as of yet. But when you walk out that door, you're on your own. And you need to realize that. And you have to stay strong. Sometimes it's difficult. I find it difficult because I try not to. I'm timid when it comes to standing my ground with service employees, like restaurants and stuff. Because I've been there. I don't want to cause them any trouble. I just want to eat and leave and give them a good tip. But I don't know. If you have any tips about a good way, a light way of broaching the topic of getting your food order perfect at a restaurant, please let me know. Leave a comment. I'm so timid when it comes, and I'm really obnoxious in real life. So I don't, but, like, I'll tell a dirty joke to a waitress before I ask her for no bread. I don't know. But yeah, leave me a comment. Let me know I can't. It's difficult. Please.